Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, I wanted to overall set a goal for video game developers. Well, not even so much a goal, more so a mission come next year. Because the thing is this. We done played way too many video games where they're halfway broken, they're buggy, they don't work. There's like just so many different games out there where I'm like, why do they even have these problems? It seemed like that problems like this. Because the thing is that I came from an era of gaming where games were fully developed. There wasn't no such thing of a PlayStation 2 game having like numerous bugs to the point where it was unplayable. Because the thing is this. How do you think that would have worked? Like, let's think of a game from back then. Let's say Grand Theft Auto 3, right? Grand Theft Auto 3 is releasing for the first time, and the game's just filled with bugs, filled with glitches. The game just stops working after some time. It's like, yeah, you're playing it, then the game just crashes on you. And this is a brand new video game. How do you think that would have worked out for Rockstar? I guarantee and I promise you this. Grand Theft Auto 6 wouldn't even be the most anticipated game. It wouldn't even be a game, period. Because Rockstar Games would have shut down a long time ago. That would have been breaking news. That would have been, I'm telling you, it's one of those things where it's like, it wouldn't have been the violence that's within Grand Theft Auto 3. No, it would have been that game not working for a lot of people. That would have shut down Grand Theft Auto or Rockstar Games. So why is it that, my thing is this, what trips me out too is that nowadays, you see where indie developers come out with more polished and working games than like developers that's been in the game for some time now. And I ain't gonna say it's all developers that's been in the game for some time. Like, yeah, there are some developers that's been around for a minute where you see when they come out with a game, that game usually ends up being good. Them classics like Mario, God of War. I'm trying to think of some other games out there where it's like, Legend of Zelda, what are some other games I'm trying to think of? Gran Turismo, even throwing in a racing game. What else? But yeah, it's like, it trips me out how it's like you see these, and even the developers behind the new Spider-Man games, Insomniac games, it's like you see where they come out with a well polished working. If you see a bug, it's gonna be one of those bugs where it's like it's either not all that noticeable, or it's a bug where it's all like, fam, I'm laughing about that. I don't care about that. That's not interfering with my gameplay, so I'm not even going to chirp about it. But you see companies out there where it's like, if it's not that, then there's features that they don't even add into the game, and then you see where they end up adding these features in later on. One game I can think of in particular where it's like, I don't know who you overall like paid attention to when it comes down to I guess like video games and stuff, like where you thought like you were gonna have a or yeah, you were gonna be out here competing with people. But I'm gonna tell you this much. There are a lot of video games out there where, in my opinion, and just even if we're just talking racing games, there's a lot of games out there where it would be better than this particular game. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. That's a video game where I'm like, fam, I don't get how you guys sat down for a long period. I wonder if they, I'm gonna ask Chat GPT how long the development was. How long was Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown was in development? I'm just curious. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown was announced on July 7th, 2020 by Nikon and Kyloton KT Racing, which officially marked the beginning of its public development cycle. However, given the scale of such project, early development and planning likely started earlier, potentially as early as 2018 or 2019, since open world racing games require extensive pre-production. This means Solar Crown has been in active development for at least 4 to 6 years as of its release on September 12, 2024. The long development time is likely due to its ambitions of recreating an open world environment set in Hong Kong and staying true to the beloved Test Drive Unlimited series legacy. It did not stay true to the legacy. It didn't at all, because you see where people would rather go back and play Test Drive Unlimited 2 than they would Unlimited Solar Crown. And I guarantee and I promise you, let's say if the developers behind Test Drive was like, well, we're gonna remaster Test Drive Unlimited 2 and re-release that, and we're gonna have it where you guys get to play that. More people would be playing that game than they would Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, and that's sad. And I've been like saying, the thing is this, like past because they came out with an update the other day, and I've been playing it, and I was like, maybe I need to just sit down and give this game a chance. I do it, and I'm like, fam, this is why I don't play this game. Because you guys got issues with the game. Like, there's features in this that doesn't exist in this game where it exists in racing games, and you guys think you're honestly going to be able to compete with other racing games, and there's features that you guys don't even have. You guys don't even have a difficulty setting. You guys can't even, you don't even allow people to pause the race so they can tend to something like, let's say my thing is this, right? I'm going to lay out two different racing games. I'm going to lay out Forza Horizon 5. That's the latest open world racing game from the Forza series, and Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, right? So let's just say you spend the whole day playing Forza Horizon 5. You can switch the difficulty settings however you want it. So if you're trying to just win races, cool, they allow that. If you want a challenge, cool, they allow that. They have a gang of content that you can play within that game. I mean, a gang of content. They got like the they call them like, it's what are they overall? It's like these missions where they pretty much just have you driving for a long period of time, I guess, to like start up the next festival or something like that. But then they have it where you're doing street races, cross country, dirt races. What else? At times you're racing planes. What else? They have it where you're racing through a dust storm. I'm trying to think of some other things they've had you've done in that game. Oh, they added like a Hot Wheel update. What are some other updates they've added into that game? They've added a lot of different things into that game. And so here's the thing. Like, all right, so let's say you're sitting down, you're playing Test Drive, and let's say you ordered something through Amazon, right? So anyways, you're halfway through the middle of a race. All of a sudden, you hear a knock at your door, and you're like, oh, that's my Amazon package. Let me go ahead. Then this is you playing Forza Horizon 5. Let me pause the game so I can go get my package, so some package thief people don't steal my package, and then I'm out of a package. Overall, in Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, you can't do that. So, let's just lay out the scenario with you playing Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Same scenario. You ordered something through Amazon. It shows up. You're halfway through a race. What do you overall do? You can't pause the game. You got to pretty much finish out the race. Now you went and checked at your front door. Package is gone. And it's things like that where it's like, okay, it could be from that. It could be from like somebody contacting you saying, hey, could you pick me up from somewhere? But you're like, okay, well, I'm halfway through this race. Let me just pause the game. And I know people going to probably be all like, well, it ain't like you lose XP or anything. Yeah, you don't lose nothing if you just exit out of the race. But the thing is just, it's small little things like that you guys just need to add into the game where it's like, fam, I don't know why you guys did it. Why did you guys just assume that everybody just wanted to play online? Who told you? Because my thing is this. Who told you guys that people wanted to play the game online? Because I don't remember saying nothing like that. I remember, just overall being hyped for this game. But I don't think, because I'm trying to, let me see when exactly I started. Because I think it might have been in 2020 when I did react to that trailer, Unlimited Solar Crown. Let's just see. So, yeah, first video I did was in 2021. That was the first video I did on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I don't remember not one time saying that game needed to be an online-only game and having it where I can't pause in the middle of a race. I don't remember saying nothing about having it where the difficulty is all the way set to max, so when you're out here trying to race, you can't even beat certain cars. And I'm thinking to myself, who pays money? My thing is this, who pays money to lose in a game? I get if you're playing online, because then to me that makes sense. You're playing against people with a different skill level than you. But it's like, my thing is this. If you're not even trying to get me to that point, because that's something that they do in Test Drive, that you have to be a certain level to get upgrades for your car. So it's like if anybody tries to, because I know people have tried to like argue with me about test drives, saying like, oh well, they're being realistic with the pricing. I guess like that. I guess like yeah, it costs 12 million, however whatever their money or currency is in Hong Kong. Yeah, I guess like it's like 12 million whatever over there versus it being like a million or 2 million out here. So it's, and people were trying to argue with me about that, and I'm like, okay, well, if we're realistically talking, and we're overall gonna be, like trying, I guess, to talk about certain things with this video game, if there are upgrades that's affordable, like let's say it costs $10,000 to upgrade a part of my engine. Do you think that if you go to a mechanic or whoever to do upgrades to your car, do you think that mechanic's gonna look at you talking about, oh, you gotta be a certain level with me in order to do upgrades with your car? Like, yeah, just forget the money, forget that mechanic getting paid that day. No, they're worried about your skill ranking. They're worried about your level. Do you honestly think a mechanic's gonna be talking like that? That's why when they be trying to defend this certain video games, I'm like, fam, I'm not hearing absolutely nothing that you're telling me right now, because you're trying to defend this game and make it seem like I'm in the wrong on what I'm saying. But it's like, okay, then all right, if I'm wrong on what I'm saying, why is it that there are other people saying the same exact thing as me? You mean to tell me a whole audience is wrong and you're the only person that's right? Come on now, really? That's why I'm like, man, when people were trying to defend Test Drive, I'm like, yeah, you guys, obviously you hadn't played enough of the game to know the issues that exist within the game. I guess you're trying to get all in good with the developers, thinking they're going to send you free stuff. And I'm like, fam, look, to fans out there that be doing crap like that, what have you gained from a developer when you go around finding YouTube videos trying to defend a video game and stuff, or podcasts or tweets, TikToks, whatever? It's like, what do you overall gain from defending that the developer's video game? Absolutely nothing. I'll tell you that right now. I know you guys don't gain you gain nothing. You gain absolutely nothing from those developers. And you guys be sitting around defending them guys like, oh yeah, it's like, they like, if my thing is this, if it's your brother that works for the company, your sister, somebody that you know that works for that company, that would probably be the only reason why, and they developed the video game, that would probably be the only reason why I would believe or understand why you're defending that game. But if you have no ties, no relations, there is no reason for you guys to be defending this game. Do you honestly think I'm going to sit down and listen to you on what you have to say? I have my frustrations. I'm stressed out playing this game, but do you think I'm going to sit down and take the time to hear what you got to say? Especially when people, and that's one thing that people be liking to say too, and it's like, they just want to jump to, oh, it's a skill issue, it's a skill issue. Then I'm like, okay, if it's a skill issue, then so everybody has a skill issue with the video game? So my thing is this, if I have a skill issue with this video game, then why am I sitting down playing this? Why should I should just go and just play Forza, play The Crew, Motorfest, play what else, The Crew 2. I'm trying to think of some other racing games out there. There's all these different racing games I can sit down and play. Why am I sitting down playing this game? If I'm having a skill issue, just to explain that type of stuff to people, because everybody just loves jumping to that argument. Nobody plays a game. I mean, yeah, if there's games out there where they have it where it's like, you want to test out your skill level, there's a settings for that. But when I'm trying to play through the career mode or whatever and things, I'm not worried about my skill at all when playing a video game. If it's a video game that I am unaware of, that's when you build up your skill level. But it's like, you don't build up your skill level on a game that you already know about. It's a racing game, bro. There ain't no difference between Test Drive, Forza, Gran Turismo, or any other racing game that exists out there. You're trying to tell me I have a skill issue with a video game genre that I've been playing for years, bruh, decades. Almost, yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, yeah, people, they be wanting to say things like that. Maybe if it was a game that I didn't know nothing about, then maybe, but we're talking a game where it's like, okay, I know the objective of the game. You start at the start line, and then you try to get in first place and cross the finish line in first place. There isn't no I gotta it's like some Rubik's Cube type skill or something with a racing game. It's a racing game. You start a race and you finish a race in first place. That's the whole objective of a race. where's the skill issue with that? So that's why I'm like, yeah, when people, it's funny, then with their latest tweet, so Test Drive, they go and make this tweet talking about like, oh, we're working on that AI and all that stuff, and we're trying to like, tone it down or whatever, and there's people tweeting them saying, just add a difficulty settings where I can make the game either on easy, medium, or hard. And my thing is this, so I made a video talking about this, and I'm like, look, if you guys don't add that stuff, if you don't make an offline mode and a skill or the difficulty settings before January 1st, 2025, then at that point I was like, no, people need to boycott this game. I'm like, up until the developers start adding stuff and listening to the people that then went out and bought this game. It don't matter whether or not the person's a fan. They went out and bought your guys' product, and you gave them nothing. And then 3 months later, the only thing that you gave them is half of a map from an older Test Drive game, where it's like, okay, why not just release that old Test Drive game? I'm saying, like, it's certain things that developers do where I'm like, stuff like that don't make sense to me. And then it's like, then you get indie developers where it's like they come out with some of the most best games, but it's like they just get like overshadowed by these bigger games where it's like, fam, your game doesn't work. And then to the indie developers, I'm like, shout out to you guys for actually doing something within the gaming industry, because there's some of these bigger developers where I'm like, man, I don't get what you guys got going on. But yeah, I remember then I read that on Wikipedia where it was like the director of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown, where they said they wanted to compete with Forza, The Crew, and Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm like, maybe with Forza and The Crew, there ain't no way possible you guys is gonna be competing with Grand Theft Auto 6. I'm willing to bet actual hard-earned money that you guys will not be on that same scale as Grand Theft Auto 6. I know for a fact that you guys would not be. And you know what the thing is this? If so, then prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Come out with these updates, like literally work day and night on this game. Have it to where because my thing is this. The only way you guys would be able to do that, be on the same scale as Grand Theft Auto 6, is when you get people that don't even play your guys' game to play your game. So there's like these streamers that be playing Fortnite, Call of Duty, Apex, Valorant, League of Legends, all these like games where they just play these games nonstop for hours upon hours. If you manage to convince those people to play your guys' game, then at that point, then you pretty much won. But it's like, I highly doubt that you guys will be able to do that. Not in the current state that where Test Drive is in. And that goes for any other game on that same scale as Test Drive, where you just think like, oh, well, we can release whatever and the fans is going to like it. No, we're not. That's why that game is in a mostly negative setting or review thing right now on Steam. And I think it has like, maybe 1 or 2 stars on PlayStation and Xbox. I'm trying to think. I don't know if Test Drive is available on Epic Games. Let's see if they got like a rating thing on Epic Games. I don't think they sell that game on Epic Games. Test Drive Unlimited. Well, they got Test Drive Unlimited, but I don't know if that's for Solar Crown. Yeah, they don't have. They was like, Epic Games was like, nah, we ain't gonna add that game to our list. Even if you tell, they do not have that game on there. It's like, it makes sense. I'm like, people probably don't even want to play that game, but anyway, at least not on whatchamacallit, Epic Games and stuff. So, but anyways, with that being said, I'm like, there's we need so actually, no, that's what I wanted to say, because I'm like, I just got carried away talking about Test Drive and stuff. But anyways, that's what developers need to do come 2025. You need to be working on your guys' game day and night. No taking the weekends off, no taking days off. Like, no, you guys need to be working on your game day and night, and I recommend to start that now. Don't wait until January 1st. It's going to be a new look and all this. No, you guys need to start doing that stuff now. Because I'm like, speaking of Grand Theft Auto 6, that game is just around the corner. Unless Rockstar plans on delaying the game. But I think they've said that numerous times. They don't plan on delaying this game. This game is going to come out in 2025. So that's what concerns me with games like Test Drive, with all these other games like Call of Duty. I'm trying to think of some other games out there where it's like it's in the bad settings. Because you got some games where it's all like, they like Ubisoft's game, X Defiant. They knew that game wasn't going to be able to compete with all these other different games. And you got Grand Theft Auto 6 just around the corner, and you think people are going to, whatever their current stat is at right now with player count, I guarantee and I promise you by the time Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out, people ain't going to be playing that game. And I'm like, there's gonna probably be a lot of people that's not gonna be playing a lot of different games when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. That Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna probably end up. I see that game's gonna be breaking a lot of different records on YouTube, on TikTok, on Twitch, Kick, every platform whatsoever that allows gaming. Twitch is gonna probably come out and say something like, oh, this is the first video game in history to reach a certain amount of viewers. It's like, oh, there is all these different people streaming the game at the same time on our platform. It's like Twitch is gonna be, I feel like that this game, it's gonna have one of the most positive domino effects for a lot of different content creators, because I just remember when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out and I was like, bruh, this has to be one of the biggest games in the world right now. If not, it is the biggest game in the world. And I'm like, I didn't realize that like before it came out, but I was like, yeah, then when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, I was like, wow, this game is actually, I'm like, nah, they got something good going on. I'll say that much. But yeah, overall though, it's just something where I'm all like, nah, you guys gonna have to do something with the game. Test Drive Unlimited, Solar Crown, that just, and then to any other developer that you guys like got just a crappy game out there, you're gonna have to work on it, because come next year, I'm telling you right now, it's like if you ain't got no nothing going good for your game, might as well just close up shop. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube, follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.